Welcome to your recap of game fine-tuning. This is the session I just led inside the community to help teach the game method, more specifically to help people fine-tune their game. The game method is taught in my mini course, it takes about 1 to 2 hours, and this was an opportunity for me to coach people on creating their game. What the heck is a game, you ask? Well, your game is what you want in your life. Some people call this goals. This is not the way we do this. We don't just set goals here. It's very different in the aspect that we actually transport ourselves to the future, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, however long it is from now. And we imagine that it's already us being in that future. And we're sharing what our life is like as if it's gone exactly how we want it to go. So in the game, we focus on a number of things. We focus on how you want to feel as at that time frame. A month from now, a year from now, I feel so confident about myself. I feel proud about how I'm showing up in my relationships. I feel great about who I am. Maybe that's what it sounds like for you. And we go on and on with as much detail as you'd like. After that, we look at, okay, what would that look like in my life? How would we measure that? What's the measurable results I'm talking about here? Most things we want in life, we think we want because we want the thing, the career, the relationship, the money. We actually want what we think that thing will make us feel. Well, I just talked about the feeling, but I want you to have both. So, how do we measure that? Besides the obvious big things like career, relationship, and so on. Well, if I was really confident, maybe a month from now, that looks like I've asked someone out on a date. Maybe I haven't done that before. Maybe it looks like I spoke up at a family reunion with regard to a value that means a lot to me. And maybe it looks like they received it well by saying, thank you so much for bringing this up. Measurable has to be something we can see happen in life. Someone said yes to something. Someone said that I'm really confident. I see you, Simon, you seem really confident. It might look like that. From here, now we're starting to take your game starting to take shape. We've got a feeling and a measurable that you're after in the month, the year, however long. This particularly is something we create every month. This is how we keep ourselves accountable, how we have clear direction. I mentioned in a video last week that, my game is the thing I lean on when I'm discouraged, when I'm confused. It's a really amazing method for creating clarification. And if you're someone who has no idea where to start, I don't know how I want to feel. I don't know what I want to see happen in my life. Well, then the thing you want to do is you want to use contrast. So instead of trying to figure out what you want, think about everything that you don't want. What are you tired of? Well, maybe I'm tired of being tired. Okay, what's the opposite of that? Use contrast to signal what you do want by saying what you don't want and ask what's the opposite. I'm tired of being tired. Well, what do I want? I want to feel energized. I'm tired of being stressed. I'm tired of feeling lonely. I'm tired of being misunderstood. I'm tired of being broke. Whatever. I'm sick of this. All right. I want to feel abundance. I want to feel good about money. I want to feel proud of myself. I want to feel connected. Notice how I'm just saying what the opposite of the negative thing is that I want. All of a sudden, your game's starting to take shape. It becomes a lot easier when we let ourselves off the hook of having the pressure to have all this figured out. A huge part of this game method is to let go of the idea that you need to know every step to get there. We're going to do that gradually by actually looking at, okay, what is it that I don't want? And what's the opposite of that? You're going to get a lot more clear. So these are the first two aspects of the game method. The next is naming your game. Here we ask the question of, what are we playing this for? What are we calling this thing? Let's make this actually playful. It doesn't have to be this heavy, intense thing. Personal growth can be so fun if we let go of the strict nature of it, if we let go of the supposed tos, the perfection. So to do that, we're going to let ourselves play and be almost a little silly with this. For example, the game I'm currently playing, I've been doing this game method thing for the last 11, 12 years. It's called Super Attractor. The game I was playing before that is called Rolling Relationships of Flow. I was fascinated with flow at the time and wanted my relationships to be these smooth, chill things because guess what? They weren't. They were bumpy and crazy and dramatic. So that's why I called my game what I called it. After that, now that we got the name of our game, we're going to create the ways of being. Okay. The foundation of my work is focused on ontology. Ontological work is how we're being is more influential than anything we could do. So, for example, if I was being a little bit tired, and a little bit bored, a little bit disinterested, this video would have no substance. Might surprise you. Maybe that'll keep you engaged, but I'm coming onto this video being energized, being enthusiastic, being excited to talk to you. It's shaping how I'm speaking. It's shaping my energy and my attitude. And I would argue it's shaping my life. And so my focus in this work is to have us be intentional and have breakthroughs in how we're being. By taking on being courageous, being empowered, being free, it doesn't matter what's happening in our life, because if we bring that way of being into that situation, it will shape the situation. But most of us are trying to change the situation, excuse me, got a little itch here, without transforming who we're being. You know, I want to be a great parent. Well, what does that look like? It probably looks like being patient, probably looks like being clear, probably looks like being rested, all these different things. So once we have our clear way of being, this serves as the foundation for the game. You could forget everything else I'm talking to you about and just focus on who you're being, and it's going to shape your life in some very significant ways. That's how you're going to win this game, whatever key ways of being have been missing. Where are we at next? The team. I used to be a lone warrior. I used to do everything myself, kind of as a badge of honor. And then I realized you can create incredible things when you have a team. I have a team. I have an assistant. I have my family. I have a whole team that supports me with my work and how my family works. Because of that, what I'm able to accomplish and do is amplified. There's people I can lean on in my life. Now, I want you to write 3 people that you're going to have be on your team. I want you to think about the kind of people you want to lean on for specific things, maybe tough love, maybe encouragement, maybe kindness, maybe playfulness. There's people in your life that offer something. Pick who you want to be on your team for this game and ask yourself, who are they for you? What makes them special to you? And write down also what makes you special to them. Get your brag on about yourself. Let yourself not be modest, because there's something special about you to these people. That's why they're in your life. After that, we're going to create a bold promise. By creating a bold promise, you are choosing to declare something that seems impossible. The boldest promise that has shaped my entire life since I've made it is, I promise to be empowered in any situation. I promise to be empowered in any situation. What does that mean, empowered? It means that no situation takes hold of me. Not bankruptcy, not breakups, not someone dying, you name it. I will be empowered in every situation. This means I actually have a say. I'm not reacting to life. I'm choosing what I do next, how I act, how I'm going to be. Now, one of my great coaches asked me this, to keep this promise, and I thought she was insane for asking it. The idea of the promise is it's supposed to be insane. It's supposed to pull you forward into something you don't know how to do, because now you're in a place of discovery and expansion versus our normal state of being. Now, to make this easier, she added a caveat. The caveat was, you don't have to know how to be that all the time. I want you to promise that you're going to be empowered in any situation. And when you don't know how, or you feel stuck, you can add a caveat. Well, my caveat was to reach out to my team. I promised to reach out to my team when I don't know how to be empowered. And guess what? As I reach out to my team, my support structure, all of a sudden I came back to being empowered. Next thing you know, I'm more connected, and suddenly I see a little glimpse that I could be empowered about something, and then I'm empowered about something else. The next thing you know, we're back in the game. So that's the other key part of this promise. And we're on the last thing? Yeah, the last thing. Your daily 1%. If you look at this like a pyramid, the daily 1% is the key to everything. It is how I set up my mindset. It's how I clear myself. It's how I stay on track. It's the 1% actions that support you towards this beautiful game that you're playing. My daily 1% has evolved a lot over the years, but the easiest way to start with this is to pick something that essentially sets up your mindset, that just grounds you a little bit. Daily 1% might have to do with reading or journaling or meditation, but it should be 1%. It should be so basic. Sometimes people write this down and they go, my daily 1% is to read for an hour a day. It's like, well, how much do you read now? I don't read at all. Okay, that's not a 1% action. That's a massive action. How about you open your book? Just open the book. Maybe your daily 1% you think is to sweat every day. Well, if you're doing that already to some degree, maybe that's appropriate. But if you haven't exercised in 6 months, maybe your action would be, I'm going to put on my running shoes. Or it might be, I'm going to walk outside. That can lead to something else, but we want to start being really small, 1%. With this structure, you guys, this is called the game method. And with the game method, I promise you, you can create extraordinary results. The amount of times people have wrote down something that they want to feel or measure in their life in their game method, followed this structure, and then a month, a year, however long later that they're playing their game, they look and they go, holy crap, it's happened as I said it, almost identical. And I don't even remember saying this. That's the magic of this game method and how it works with your intentions. I hope that recap was valuable for you. Thank you for being someone who's up to having a greater influence over their life and thus making a greater difference for the people you care about most in life. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. Wish you the best as you continue the game.